One night in Chile, an excerpt. You wrote tequila messages, and everything incarcerated inside spells from an unearthly sprite. I want to steal you away. I want to lock you in a cage. I want to look at you forever. I see you everywhere. The day she left, the gladiolas and the apple jug were dying. It had not yet been a week that we put them in there, half filled with water. But it doesn't matter. The petals are so dead and so wilting, their corpses scatter across the tabletop. I guess they die so easily because they aren't planted anymore, not growing and not rooted and not connected to the earth. They are disconnected from the soil, from the dirt. The gladiolas are meant only to be alive for a very short period of time anyway, and the ruby coloring peels off the petals like paint from my old house. Outside, even though it is just September, I can see lightning in the not so far distant, flickering across the sky up north, probably closer to Lockhart than to here. I'm not afraid of lightning or thunder. The sound or the sight never bothered me all that much. I was so used to watching it as a kid growing up near Amarillo off Highway 385 at the bottom of Tornado Alley that I just can't imagine being worked up about Zeus's toy. Those streaks of light were just a regular part of the spring and summer season in the Great Plains. I mean, I guess I could have been afraid of it, seeing as how I knew somebody who was struck and killed by lightning. When I was in middle school, the high school boys varsity basketball coach got caught out in a thunderstorm out somewhere in eastern New Mexico while he was camping, and lightning hit him. It killed him instantly. The new gymnasium was named after him. The harbor floor even bears his signature. And folks, they still tell stories about him. Many of the men in my town remember playing for him. His career spanned 30 years, but I never met the man. I always wondered, what are the chances of being hit by lightning? The same I'd reckon as being eaten by a shark, like the 500 plus men devoured by the biggest shark attack in recorded history. Sailors from the USS Indianapolis, whose ship sank after being hit by Japanese missiles, and the 800-something men plunged into the Pacific waters, without boats, without rafts, just with life jackets, hoping to be rescued. And instead, the sharks circled. Both shark attacks and lightning-related deaths are pretty uncommon occurrences, but it doesn't diminish their nightmare factor. The chances are better of the woman that you love, the woman that you would take that obsidian knife bought from an Aztec selling trinkets at Teotihuacan and harvest your own heart for. She shoves her shit into a bag, she calls a friend that you hate, and she tells you that she's leaving, and you can't stop her. So observe how the gladiolas rot, diminishing and disintegrating back into atoms. I, a tree, years rose around me, leaves drift away like dead skin, digging the graveyard near roots, unable to jump on the wind. Your feet planted in the cement floor, the pupils and irises fixed to the rug by the door, where once her nose bled so deep and so long it sank into the fabric, and her DNA could never have been removed. Your mother wove that rug on a loom in your backyard, and you couldn't let it be thrown away. Those stains, they watch you now, like the eyes of Argus Panoptis. So you stand in the kitchen, propped up against the kitchen sink, where more than once you hoisted her up onto the edge, and you swallowed her like the ocean you sometimes are, and you watch her throw t-shirts and those frayed combat boots with broken laces into the black duffel bag you took on your trip to Mexico City. Your arms crossed and not a single fucking word comes from your lips, not even as she hugs you goodbye and waits for you to ask her to stay. Not even then. And you watch her without a single tear ducking out of your eye. The chances of her walking out that door, across that threshold, out of your life for good, they're better than you being hit by lightning. They're better than you being ripped apart by frenzied sharks, driven by blood in the water. They're better than putting a rifle into your mouth and pulling the trigger. Those are your chances. Those are your chances.